Judith's story. Judith provides all information and messages through direct telepathic contact with Pleiadians of Taygeta. She is the primary contactee for Pleiadians in the last days before the shift. Judith is the human incarnation of Aya, goddess of Taygeta and maid of Ikai, elder and leader of Taygeta. As the first world of the Pleiades, Taygeta recognizes only one goddess, while other Pleiadian stars honor many goddesses. Judith is here because Aya's sole plan was to incarnate one last time with her son, Kabamur, to assist in sharing Pleiadian disclosure with the world. She is a normal human being who has been fully awakened to who she is on a soul level, and has been given great spiritual gifts necessary to share such information. Judith has many abilities, including telepathy with Pleiadians, multidimensional sight, astral travel, and incredible visions of other places and times. She's met with Pleiadians face to face and in nonphysical, and regularly encounters beings of all kinds in astral. Judith's story. Judith, I arrived in a household of poverty, abused sexually and physically to the point most would not have survived. This was planned for the later complete opening to AYA and abilities to share with you of my Pleiadian origin and the Great Awakening. I still remember being born and knowing this was not my home. I was born hearing and seeing other realms. I traveled with NEIOH each night at even 2 years old. I could see in darkness as I do now. As I traveled in deep space, I felt such peace. I was completely clairvoyant, yet at 2 years old, I had no idea what this was. I heard a deep and ethereal voice booming through the house one night as I was fully awake and watching beings dancing and moving in the darkness. The voice was very loud. All it said was, "I am." I waited for the completion and nothing came. I can still remember the sound. I had agreed to live a very difficult life of abuse, poverty, and lack. I had no boundaries on arrival, and abuse will prevent boundaries from developing. So, learning to maneuver through life brought a series of abusive and destructive relationships. Embracing religion gave me hope and comfort. I could not get enough, and I read the Bible each day for hours. I believed every word of it. As I read of the last days when there would be dreams and visions, I understood. But my visions had left me, and I spent my life in survival mode with PTSD. Journaling alone in my bedroom, as I had for years, I was having urges to write certain things that I knew nothing about. Technology, crafts, intricate descriptions of places I didn't know about. I dreamed about a home and those that ran to greet me. While asleep, I felt such love for them that I didn't want to wake up. In the journaling, I met NEIOH. I learned of my Pleiadian home. The brainwashing would begin now, and I slipped into the story of Judith. There are no good childhood memories, only horrific abuse and fear. I married as a teen and later gave birth to a beautiful son. He arrived from Taygeta, where he is called Kabamur. Telepathy began in 2008. NEIOH spoke to my mind each day, and I wrote the most beautiful messages. I did not understand who he was or how this was happening. I learned to trust the silent voice that boomed through my consciousness so clearly. After weeks, I began asking questions and always received answers. We developed a closeness like best friends. July 2013, the veil dropped. In the darkness of my bedroom, 3 beings of light slowly approached Maine. They were flashing light but in an astral body. I looked at my body and I looked like them. I have a relationship with fairies. I often see angels. In darkness, there are no walls and I see angels beside my bed, as well as in deep space. I hear no sounds, but they acknowledge me with nods and bows. I live in many places as you do. We are multidimensional beings. As the layers fall away, you will see and experience as I do. For most, this would be overwhelming, so you have chosen by your higher self when you are ready for more. Leaving religion left a space to be filled. I still loved God and always will. I still read or remember some scripture. But I realize that this was created by man and there are many contradictions. God is love. God does not murder, ever. God never required a blood sacrifice. This was religion of that time. I never want to offend anyone's beliefs because I would once have died for mine. There have always been shamans, those that see and communicate with other realms. I have had shamans come to me for help. Yet, to know me, I am the least likely for any of this to be. Through pain, I awakened totally, as this was the catalyst chosen by my higher self. Each one is on a journey of the soul. I hope this clarifies the mystery of the messages and the messenger. I love you so. Judith.